I'm Harley, the sauce boss from Epic Mealtime. Dean Calhoun from Video Game High School. This is the Binge Eater podcast. I'm joined with Donnie Duckets, as well as my business partner, Lynch. My relationship with these guys, I knew them both my whole life. Lynch works behind the scenes on Epic Mealtime. Donnie Duckets, one of the funniest guys I've known. And I don't want you guys to get too caught up with who these guys are. This is probably your first exposure to them. It's not a big deal. I just want to say, like, they're not fucking loser YouTuber also people. This isn't a YouTuber also podcast, bro. I got some real fucking pipe hitting real people out here. I thought that we did cover really different things in terms of what we enjoy doing and what is important to each of us. So basically all this to say, this is a compilation of my friend and family coming together to do a podcast. And I'm only saying this because online I saw a lot of people be like, who the fuck are these guys? They're not someone you know. They're not. And that's chill. And guys, if you're listening to the podcast right now, I don't know where you're listening to it, but it's everywhere. We also have a video version of it on YouTube. And so whatever you're watching on, like it, rate it, review it, subscribe to it, whatever it is. Share this because it's hilarious. It's going to be great. Trust me.
Trust us.
Yeah.
Trust us, Jones.
I don't want you guys to think this podcast is all about food. It's not. It's about lots of things. However, I feel like I don't get enough food out there told to me that's interesting. It's always like, I don't know, maybe just in my algorithm, like YouTube drama. And some things come up and I'm like, we need to talk about this. And sometimes it might not be as current or clickbaity as you'd like. But having said that, I wanted to talk about the GOMAD Diet. And this is like this, the GOMAD Diet used to come up a lot. Like when I used to like hang out like on like the bodybuilding forums. Do you guys remember this? Do you ever go to the bodybuilding forums?
I used to.
On Reddit, not forums so much.
Like bodybuilding.com.
Bodybuilding.com was like, it was like a spot. It was like a spot like back like, I'm saying like 2010, I used to chill there. Yeah. And it was like a place where you'd go. It was basically like going to a really active subreddit.
Right.
The GOMAD Diet, I remember this. Step. This is like, I never knew if this was trolling. And like, I still don't know because I never really researched it. But like, sometimes I'd see like a 19-year-old boy and he'd be just like big. Like, yeah, he'd have muscle under there, but he'd have a whole bunch of tits and like a big gut, like big fat thighs, like rubbing together with no like defined muscles or anything. And the comments were always like GOMAD Diet. That's the GOMAD body.
Yeah, and this might be like a flat earth effect here, where it kind of starts as a troll and then people do it. And now it's a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm. To be honest, I think I missed this whole GOMAD.
Yeah, I got it like a decade
diet
ago.
Or whatever. I missed it completely. But
yeah, it means gallon of milk a day, by the way, for you guys listening. The GOMAD Diet. I'm not sure. I never really researched if this is a troll or not. Like there used to be trolling back on those forums. Like I remember people would be like, I want to gain muscles and no fat. Like what's the best thing to do? And people would be like, only drink protein shakes.
Right.
So you'll only have protein. Your body won't have anything else to make anything but muscle.
Right. You also will not have a liver or kidneys anymore.
And that's an obvious trolling. So when I saw the GOMAD, I was like, gallon of milk a day sounds wild as hell. A gallon of milk is 123 grams of protein, 127 grams of fat, 2,400 calories. I'm not a person to comment on anything nutritional at all. It's not my place. But I'm looking at that and I'm like, well, what the hell? Is that all you ate? You just drank milk? You had the diet of a calf? That's what your life was. People always had these pictures with tits, and they're like, my weights, I'm gonna start cutting soon. But then people would comment, they'd be like, GOMAD Diet for sure. And I still don't know if it's real or not.
I don't think so. I think it's kind of like boofing.
What do you mean? Boofing? Hold on. Boofing is real though.
Okay, boofing is real, but like there's like sort of a trend where like whatever drug somebody posts on the internet, the response is just boof it.
But they do.
Yeah, I don't know if that's entirely real. I feel like it's just a default response, kind of.
Well, but boofing, like, for example, I've heard guys, if you don't know what boofing is, when you put it in your ass. And I never did it. I never did it.
Yeah, me neither. And I don't think all these people on the internet that say boof it are doing it either.
Well, then if that's the logic and I never did it, then they never did it either.
This is like boofing is the banana split of drug taking. You hear about it, people talk about it, nobody's doing it. Okay.
Well, because you don't want to boof at a party. I feel like you boof solo.
Yeah.
Probably small groups, I would say.
You need someone to help push it, squirt it.
Yeah, it's like a 2, 3, 4 person operation, and some weird shit's going down after for sure.
Yeah.
But I do. It is interesting. You think that it's like the GOMAD diet is a troll, because if you really think about what diets people are doing now, is it that far fetched to think that somebody, you know what, I'm gonna get results?
It's not.
Eating only meat. That's it. People eat only meat.
Yeah.
They pick one source and that's it. Why is it such a far fetched idea that someone would just drink the milk for an entire day?
You're right. I meant to say, I guess what I was saying was not like do people do it, but there's no real basis for this being a successful diet is what I meant to say, I think.
It feels like a young person's diet, because when I think of milk, all I think about is being 14, 15 years old, where I would just cruise in and I'd bust open the fridge and I'd pull out the 4 liter and just start drinking directly from the 4 liter of milk, but also having my
Never
protein,
in my life.
Well, there's a reason though.
Never in my life.
Oh,
not even chocolate milk. Not even chocolate milk from the carton.
Well, now you're talking silly talk.
No, a cold chug of milk was one of the delights of being young.
Okay, I have so many. I'm like gonna lose track. I have so many now.
He's excited. Tell us what you did. Boofing milk.
I boofed some milk. I had a funnel and a pull-up bar that I hung myself upside down from. No. First question. Do you remember those chocolate milk juice boxes? And
Yoo-hoo, didn't fuck with that.
Not Yoo-hoo though. It was like a blue box and there was like a chocolate bar on it that was like frothing and overflowing with the red and white straw stabbed into the chocolate bar.
I know this now.
So
that was chocolate milk.
Yes, chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk in a juice box. Different from Yoo-hoo. Yeah.
I remember that like in elementary school.
Yeah, we didn't get that in my house. We didn't get chocolate milk.
The other thing, yeah, or like quick syrup or something.
No, we got quick syrup.
Quick was definitely a staple.
Chocolate quick powder, strawberry quick powder. We didn't really get the syrups in my house.
Yeah, strawberry is bunk.
We got none of that in my house, and I would go to your house and just go to town on the strawberry or chocolate quick. You'd have the syrup bottles, which were better than the powder.
We had the powder. If we had the syrup, I think it was a special occasion. Because normally it was the powder.
The powder's better for longevity. I think the syrup gets more sus. Like, you know, that little applicator tip gets crusted up and you're not so sure
That's why I
anymore.
wasn't in the house. My mom didn't want to fuck with that shit. She knew I was gross. I'm out there fucking, my mom doesn't want the applicator, any sort of applicator, and I'm instantly boofing. If something has an applicator, I'm like, you could boof that.
Yeah.
Boofing is real. Boofing is real. Sick merch. Okay, sorry, continue.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the reason why you're like associating milk with youth, it's like it's an actual thing, and you have like enzymes in your body to break down lactose, and those disappear as you age. So that's why you're saying like, oh, a gallon of milk a day. Like, if any of us started that right now, it would be lights out, game.
No, yeah, this is for growing. That's what they promoted it as. It was like, oh, you're a skinny little high school boy. Like, you know, some people are just like, so like how I was, and
drink
it was like
these cow hormones.
You need gallon of milk a day diet, and like now you'll be a person, and that now start from like there.
It's one of those things that had a reverse. You gain food unlocks for you the older you get. At least for me, like the older I get, I find foods that I'm interested in that I probably wouldn't have cared about when I was younger. I'm like, nah. Milk's one of those things that's reversing for me. Like
I'm telling you,
when I say I'm chugging milk, I was just chugging milk and eating chicken. I was like, it didn't matter.
Weird for a Jew, man. That's weird.
Whoa, why are you doxing me? Wait, you did this when you were younger?
Yeah. Like I wouldn't chug. I think about this.
I didn't really like chicken when I was younger, and so like my mom
like your brother.
and I loved ketchup, and so like I always ate chicken with ketchup, and I was like,
about
"There's
to
not
say.
enough ketchup," and like now that I'm older, I'm like, "God damn, Mom, it was the ketchup that also sucked."
Yeah,
ketchup on like
ketchup
a
on
boiled chicken.
Yeah, I
Like-
swear to God, I did the exact same thing. First of all, ketchup on everything, but ketchup on chicken, ketchup on steak.
Yeah, it was like shit. This would have been a great time to introduce me to fucking mustard or mayo or honey
mayo.
mustard or
But mayo was
barbecue
another
sauce.
thing. Like I don't know. I just found like not that we were ever kosher or ever anything, but I just find like growing up, it was like these dairy products were more distant. Like we had milk. Milk was for cereal and for maybe cookie dipping. I don't think I ate mayo till I was like 17 years old.
Yeah, we didn't really have mayo in my house either. Mayo was not frequent in the house at all. We didn't have mayo in the house. And a big snack that a lot of people eat, and I was like, I never had that. And I want to know if either of you guys had this. But a common snack, like if you were basically like not poor, but not well off, basically how all three of us grew up. So we kind of all had the same upbringing, but I never had this, and I don't think you guys did either. But people for breakfast, like a cheap meal would be toast with butter and cinnamon and sugar on it.
Definitely not.
So it's like,
I put that in my cereal, like sugar in my cereal.
No, like cinnamon
Just
on
dropping
French
sugar
toast.
in. That I feel like is the cheaper
I'd
way
have
to
French toast. I wouldn't put cinnamon on it, but I'd have French toast. But when I heard about like butter, cinnamon, and sugar, I was like, oh, I never had that. And so many people were commenting on it, and they were like, oh my God, my childhood. This is what my dad would make for us when my mom was out of town. My dad like gave us vegetables and dip, and we literally ate it 3 meals a day for 4 days. But like the
My
toast
dad's special move was the raisin bread. The raisin bread with butter.
I hate
I
raisins.
like that still, by
and
the way.
bread.
I still like that.
I mean, it's been
No.
a dog's age, but that what was the brand? Like that red bag with the chick on it, like Dole or something.
It's the same. Sunmade. It still exists.
Sunmade.
It's literally
First of all,
that was literally in my house like last week.
I saw that.
A raisin is good on its own. Mixed with anything like a bread or baked into
Are you gonna say
anything,
something
it's a no.
stupid right now? That's what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Come on the
If I get
podcast
a-
and say something
you're
stupid
saying-
like that.
If I get a cinnamon bun and there's a raisin in there, I am so it ruins at least 30 minutes.
Let me tell you
This is-
something, bro.
yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
so
fuck.
mad.
I'm
Go
about
off.
to
Yeah.
fuck you
Give 'em
up,
that
bro.
smoke.
I'm about to fuck you up. And this goes in line with like how my tastes have changed. If you were like, bro, you want a chocolate chip cookie, and you gave me a chocolate chip cookie and I bit it and it was oatmeal raisin, I would be happy. I would be happy with that. I'd be happier with oatmeal raisin than chocolate chip. And yeah, when I was 9, telling me you had chocolate chip and giving me an oatmeal raisin was like the worst thing you could ever do, other than give me a cake and then I tasted it and it's rum cake. That shit would fucking piss me off. But an oatmeal raisin cookie, like, bro, I can't think of a place raisins are better off than in a cookie. I can't think of a place that raisins are better off than in oatmeal, a bowl of oatmeal. Raisins on bread? Sick. What's your deal with raisins, bro? I'll
Raisins
take a
for
raisin.
I know,
I'll
I
take a
like
raisin and a
raisins.
motherfucking salad. I will.
I'll eat raisins independently of all that.
That's crazy.
I like a raisin.
That's the worst way to eat raisins.
It's literally that's the most like 7 years old thing recess snack
No.
I've ever heard in my life. What do you do? Stick your finger in a little box?
Yeah, and pull it out as one. You pull it out as one. You fish hook it out of that box,
yeah.
and then you kind of.
You gotta break the box open on the underside because there's
Yeah.
like 2 stuck flat on the box bottom that will not
Yeah.
come out. But you do that, Lynch. You get a box of raisins. You sit down and have a little box of raisins, and
I'm just saying that if there's a raisin shows up in my bread or a cinnamon bun,
no,
Really
bro!
pisses
I
me
don't,
off.
no. I don't want an unannounced raisin other than when I'm expecting a chocolate chip and it's a raisin. I'm like,
Okay.
hey, not bad.
No-
but
no one-
if I bite something and there's mystery raisin, that's only a mistake.
So no,
It wasn't supposed to be there.
That's a cinnamon bun. That's a cinnamon bun defined. You can get a cinnamon bun. Oh, this looks so good, and they're just tucking those raisins in there, hidden between the layers. And I'm so mad when that happens.
If you tell me it's a cinnamon bun with raisins in it, I'm cool. If you tell me it's a cinnamon bun and I bite it and I get like one of those pale orange raisins that are the color of bread, and they're like way juicier than I expected, they're not dried out enough.
They're not dehydrated.
Too much grape left. I'm like, now who the fuck is gonna fuck up my cinnamon bun like this with a little beige raisin?
I feel like
but other than that, like I'd be like, if I know if they're like raisin cinnamon bun, you want one with raisins? I'd be like, okay, are they good?
Where do you think that people fall on if we ran a poll? Do you think more people are on my side or on your side?
So your side being that raisins should be like ingested on their own,
only
and
from
our
a
side
box.
being that raisins are
Not from a
meant to
box.
be
I get it
mixed.
from a bag too.
Okay,
Bags of raisins are
whatever.
fine. I don't care.
Some sort of
I don't care what
receptacle.
packaging they come in, but they're just not coming in my
How about
bread
this?
or
How about
my.
this? All right, I'm wondering when this is going to come up. I'm waiting, but you guys are failing me. When are we going to talk about glossettes?
Oh, I was just thinking about Glossettes yesterday.
No, tell him. Lynch, tell him though. What do you think? You don't like those?
You prefer you want peanut or you want
No,
raisin?
don't even
don't
debate the peanut because the peanut's a very powerful, thing. But Glossette raisins, I want to know. You don't back that?
Chocolate raisin's different. Same. It's like just different. But I wouldn't buy that.
Mean?
No.
What does that
Different
mean?
than what?
I have to be so
like it?
desperate. I have to be so desperate to be doing that.
I think if you're sitting down and you're just eating raisins, I feel like you're already at that level of desperation.
No.
Chocolate covered raisins.
I don't do it. I don't do it, but I was thinking about Glossettes because I love Glossettes, not raisin Glossettes, the better
peanuts?
version. Yeah, the peanut Glossette.
Why you don't like peanut glossettes?
I love peanut glossettes, but they're still second place.
They're
still second place to the raisin glossette.
What?
The raisin glossette is the superior glossette. And
I'll be honest. If I were telling you guys something, if I got Glossette peanuts, Lynch, it's because like peanut M&Ms were not there, almond M&Ms were not there, Reese's Pieces were not there, and Glossette raisins were not what I wanted. I do prefer Glossette raisins to Glossette peanuts, but I don't prefer Glossette raisins to peanut M&Ms.
So we live our lives at the at Shoppers completely different. I walk in and I'm so mad.
Yeah, you go to the grocery store, you chill at the olive bar, bro. I don't do that. You go to the olive bar and you eat different olives. I don't eat one olive.
I get a little tapenade going. It's great.
There's like
tapping
one
that
thing.
ass.
But there's no Glossettes. there's no Glossettes, peanut Glossettes anywhere. I swear, I've walked in and I've been thinking about this. This is something I think about every
They
week.
don't move. They don't move. They sit on the shelf.
They
sit on the
Their
shelf.
box. Glossette raisins are purple. That box. The
Yeah,
Glossette
and peanuts are yellow. Peanuts
They're
are yellow.
Oh
And in
yeah,
Canada,
no, I ain't seen those. Bro.
Nowhere.
Is this are these available in the United States of America?
They're probably not called glossettes. They're like, that's too French or something. They're gonna call them like freedom beans or something. But
Yes.
look, the peanut has so many applications, and the raisin, not that it needs help, but it deserves representation. And the Glossette is like the best platform for raisins to come in and be like, yo, like I ain't dead yet. And like peanuts, you have peanut butter, you have crunchy peanuts, you have peanut versions of non-peanut things. Like something will be like, caramel, and then they'll be like, fuck it, limited edition, we're adding peanuts.
What I love about this is like you're going into like a corner store, a 7-Eleven or whatever grocery store. You're like, I'm kind of feeling like a snack. Peanut M&Ms. You're like, hold up. Peanuts getting a lot of love. I'm going to get Glossettes and give raisin stock a boost. Like you're out here boosting raisin stock, just like you think it's your responsibility to balance out the snacks of this world. And you're like, nah, peanuts getting too much love. I'm getting chocolate covered raisins today.
Like, look, I love peanuts. Peanuts, they do great work. But if I'm eating a Glossette, I'm like, why is this not a chocolate covered almond? Like, if I'm going to eat a chocolate-covered nut, first of all, peanuts are not nuts. They're legumes. But if I'm going to eat a chocolate-covered quote-unquote nut, it's not going to be a peanut. It'll be an almond or a cashew or a fucking macadamia nut.
Hold up a sec. So you've never walked out of Costco with a big bin of 9 million candy-covered peanuts and murked those bad boys?
No, I've done Costco. I've done that clear plastic bin of the
Yeah, with
chocolate
the
covered
almond
almonds.
ones. Oh,
which
you
is
didn't do
like
you didn't do the clustered almonds either, because they got that too.
clustered
It's
almonds.
like it's got like candy on it, and like I swear they put like peanuts
I have
on the almonds.
I have cashew clusters. Those like
See,
squares.
cashew by itself, that's already a thing. I swear cashew's always been good to me. Always loved cashew. Straight up a cashew. I don't need cashew ice cream. I don't need cashew anything. Cashew, just the cashew. That's it.
Okay, so you have the raisin policy for cashew.
Yeah.
It's funny. That
Yeah,
you
but
guys,
no one's like, no one's out there like, right, you don't have cashew on your pizza. You don't have cashews in your cinnamon bun.
What?
You don't put cashew in your salad?
Cashew in a cinnamon bun would be dope.
Yeah. Cashew in a salad sounds all right, too.
The only condition I'd be interested in a Glossette raisin is if I dumped it into a jar of peanut butter and scooped it out with a spoon.
Oh, I was going to say I could suck the chocolate
That's
off
interesting
of it
to
and
me.
spit
That's
the
an
pure
interesting
raisin into your mouth.
That's how I can get, like, I would buy a jar of peanut butter and then Glossette raisins and then just eat them together.
I hate
That's how much.
over the past decade, and like Lynch, you're approaching this very quickly. Being adventurous like that is like I can't anymore. Like I can't do that after doing Epic Mealtime where I fucking the bacon and all the things and stuff like that. Like things like that when it's me and I'm alone. Like I can't do like chocolate peanut butter and a raisin. Like that's like I'm like, what is this fucking a shit Epic Mealtime episode? I'm gonna fucking eat this right now. I like peanut butter and then chocolate covered raisin. I like them separate.
You bring up something interesting though. I'm curious. So you've done this much time with Epic Mealtime, 10, 12, whatever years it is. What food has been ruined for you, or what meal just totally fucked you up?
If there's one food that's been ruined since Epic Mealtime, it's spicy food. And it's sad because this happened in the last like 2 years, but we did a spicy episode once where it was like 10 million Scoville bacon or something like that. And it was a banger. It got like 3 million views. We got paid. So then we were like, okay, the internet wants spicy shit. Let's do spicy shit. So we did like 10 million Scoville coffee, 10 million Scoville bacon, 10 million Scoville French toast, 10 million all these 10 million Scoville things. I ate all of them. They all fucked me up. I was also on Hot Ones and I ate the last dab. And when we filmed with Sean from Hot Ones on our channel, we made these ribs with the last dab cooking sauce that was like even hotter than that. We had hot sauce that was hotter than the Hot Ones hot sauce. I ate all that. This fucked up my mouth many times and now I can't eat spicy food. I even eat Frank's Red Hot, or if I eat Tabasco, and I still do, Tabasco pepper sauce makes me hurt. Like that's where I'm at. My tongue is so fucked up from this that I can't even eat just regular hot sauce. It burns too much, and I still do it. But it's like what it does to my mouth is like when I would go to a restaurant, they'd be like, "This is very, very spicy." I'd be like, "Give it to me." Now Tabasco sauce does that to me. And what sucks about all this is I mashed up, completely destroyed my mouth filming these spicy epic meals, and most of them weren't bangers. So like at the end of the day, after having like this successful career on YouTube and Epic Mealtime and doing all this, I fucked my tongue up in the last like 4 months of filming for like $2,000. Like $2,000, and I had to like fucking pay out a mirror and I'm fucking there. I can't even eat. Like ketchup is spicy now. So
is that worse? Is that worse than like turtle soup, like some of those early ones where the first couple of years you did some real adventurous, like
stuff that was like weird on Epic Mealtime back in the day? I used to be like, oh fuck, that was a nightmare. But now that I'm older, I'm just like, man, Chinese people eat this shit. Like you roll with Chinese people, food's different. I roll with Chinese people and a fish comes to the table and it's a whole ass fish with a skeleton and everything. And someone cuts the head off and I'm like, of course, discard the head. And they're like, the best part. And then they start to eat the eyeballs. And like, that's like, and I'm looking like Chinese people. I'm like, they don't fuck around. Like they don't fuck around. And I'm like, I'm not even joking. Like I've seen like chicken feet, fish heads, fish cheeks. I've seen the things
fish cheeks are legit.
Yeah. The things I've
eaten fish cheeks at a Greek restaurant and fish cheeks are legit.
But these are the things that naturally I'd be like, it was gross. Fish cheek episode of Epic Mealtime, that was gross. But when I look back, it's like, well, yeah, it was gross also because it's like cooked by like a 24-year-old stoner in like a fucking little kitchen with the wrong, complete, like no spice or seasoning at all. And it's like, hurry up, we got to do this. Yeah, we got to do this in 3 hours. So it's like that, yeah. So, I mean, now I look back at it like, and things are different. I mean, I used to go order Chinese food and I'd be like General Tao or General So, depending on where you're from. Orange chicken, white rice, pad thai at the Chinese restaurant. Now it's just like I can't order from like a real Chinese restaurant, but I'm kind of like, let me see. I'll look at other people's tables. I'm like, 2 of those, 1 of this. So I feel like there's no gross episode of Epic Mealtime anymore to me because I'm Chinese now.
We're proud of you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think like probably looking at like what would be, I don't know, like turtle soup sounds pretty brutal. Like I know me, I don't think I could enjoy something like that. But like looking at what I would want to eat the least, it's kind of like the first epic meal is the type of thing that just grosses me out, where it's like you take a pizza and you cover it in burgers and chicken, and I'm like,
sounds good.
Exactly. That, like talking about how we differ on foods, it's like
sounds delicious.
Or
it's
how
like
we grew up, because I loved that then, and now I'm like, bro, I would rather have a burger and then a slice of pizza.
Those are probably the only things I ate for the first like 9 years of my life, was like pizza, chicken nuggets, hamburgers. These were like the only things we ate as kids.
I'm sure you saw this NyQuil Sleepy Time Chicken situation online. Do you think that's as good? Like, is that as bad as doing Four Loko? Probably way worse, I would say. Like, do you think if this was 2000, what year did you do Chili Four Loko?
2010.
Do you feel that would just be like a TikTok video now? Like if it was like transport.
Yeah,
now,
I would have been
like
we would have been just on TikTok, I guess. Like,
maybe not.
I feel like you could have been like washed out if TikTok was as bumping when you started Epic Mealtime, because I feel like you had such original ideas, and TikTok moves so fast compared to YouTube, especially like 2010 YouTube.
Yeah.
That like you came up with ideas that like somebody would be doing it better than you 2 days later. And
yeah,
like,
I think the thing that would separate it from that happening, someone doing it better, is that people were equipped to do it better than us back then. But I think we
didn't
had
want to do the stupid things.
No, it wasn't even that. People did want to do the stupid shit. I mean, they're doing it now and they think it's new. And people loved it, and fast food restaurants loved it, and like legit chefs were like, we didn't think about doing it upside down. But what separated Epic Mealtime was like, we were a collection of mostly funny guys, also adding this really unique niche humor, because the humor is not niche to either of you guys. I mean, by the time Epic Mealtime came out, you guys are like sick of that type of person being like, "Oh, what up, ribs?" But like,
it was almost confusing in the beginning to be like, "Wow, people are liking this stuff." This is like. We were over, like you were over your own shit by the time it got famous.
I remember sitting there being like, for the Christmas episode, the first Christmas episode, 2010, I was like, what up, ribs? And then I was like, I don't know if people want to see that. That's so stupid. That's like a thing me and my friends do, like when we see each other. Like if someone's armpits were sweating, you'd go up to them and grab their arm, lift it up and point it there and be like, oh, what up, sweat stains? And it was like a dumb thing. And it was like not particularly anything. And I thought it was like so personal to like our friend groups that I thought it was like going to read badly in Epic Mealtime.
What do you mean? We have Big Lynch here. That was the ultimate what up.
Yeah, no, or my mom. What up, Big H?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, so I thought people weren't going to like that stuff, but people also connected to that. People connected to it like being like, what is this weird group of Canadian guys that speak weird and have this like weird, like, why do they all want to be rappers?
Look at Shaguk, the way Shaguk took off with your vlog.
Yeah, that was also like years later, and it didn't really like catch on like what up ribs, which by the way, we almost called this podcast What Up Ribs. Well, I wanted to for a minute, and then I woke up not high and I was like, okay, don't.
Goodbye ribs.
We've had like 10 new names since we started it too. We're like, oh, should have been that. Should have been this. Should have been that. But do you think you would have done a NyQuil? Have we made anything like a NyQuil Chicken? Like I feel like this is
No, we never did anything
so
like that.
stupid.
We never did anything like that. The Four Loko lasagna is probably the closest thing.
People love that episode though. That's like,
But
that's
look,
a
Four
classic.
Loko is a food product. Like doing
true.
this with medication is.
But didn't Four Loko get removed?
Yeah,
from
like-
the market.
Yeah, like you could die from Four Loko also.
You could die from any and all alcohol. Like,
So NyQuil's got to be worse than the Four Loko.
Yeah, I think it probably is.
especially once you boil
I guess
it.
when you distill it, once you distill it down, it's not really.
It concentrates. It definitely concentrates.
So why are people doing NyQuil Chicken? Just because it's
Man,
a meme or
people
something?
are eating Tide
What's up with that?
Pods.
I don't think they were. I think like it's like someone does NyQuil Chicken and they do it as a joke on 4chan, and then a couple years later, a person does it on TikTok and pretends to eat it, and they're like, "Yum!" and they like halfway fake it, and then like 9 other people dump NyQuil on chicken, and then those 9 TikToks like blow up, and other people are like, "Huh," but like no one's really eating NyQuil Chicken. No one was really sucking down Tide Pods,
Right. Well,
But
it's,
it does
it's
take like one person to do that, just to like to be
no,
that
because it's not
dumb.
about doing it, right? It's not about doing it like, all right, we're going to sit down and have a bowl of Tide Pods. It's more about like, all right, I'm going to turn on the webcam. Well, webcam, showing my fucking age, but you're just going to turn your phone on you and like eat a Tide Pod real quick, take a bite of it. And people think like, oh, whatever, I'll spit it out. It's soap. But it's funny how like, not that we should get bogged down in this, but people kind of put soap and detergent in this like similar category in their mind, but chemically they're like extremely different things. And like you could pour soap in your mouth and spit it out and it's bitter, it's gross, and it's like whatever, you'll have, spit out bubbles. Detergent is a fucking chemical. Like you should not be ingesting any level of detergent. It's like putting paint in your mouth.
I did that.
Yeah.
Yep. Or worse, I put turpentine in my mouth.
How did that turn out for you?
I was 5 years old, and I was in the kitchen, and this guy was painting the house, and he had turpentine there. He was like, I guess, stripping a layer of paint, some shit, and he kept the paint the turpentine in this bottle. Now, I'm going to describe this bottle to you, and I don't know if it'll ring a bell for you, but it was a really old apple juice brand. And it looked like a skyline of buildings on like glass, but it was like drawn. And the skyline was like white squares of buildings going like around. And it was like a simple drawing, like a simple, like just stencil work of buildings. It just looked like a skyline around it. And it was yellow. And it was like a common apple juice that we had in the house. And I know what it looked like. And here it was on the floor. Apple juice was a little clear, but guess I don't know the world that well. But I do know this bottle and its label. And so I picked it up, and I remember like I have such a clear memory of me being like, and the guy being like, no. And I was like, too late. And then I actually have I have a very clear memory of being like in like an outdoor hospital, like tent type scenario. Like they like rushed over and like set up like a little mini like
an outbreak tent, like
it was really like, I guess it was like thrown together quickly, but I just remember looking up to a tarp and having oxygen put on me.
This guy looking for attention, even when he was 5.
This guy drank turpentine and they brought him to a FEMA
Of course, he started
camp.
a YouTube channel.
I used to like when I didn't get what I wanted, I used to wild out because I was the baby. I was the baby. So if I didn't get what I want, I was like, and I'm also like 6'4" and like 8. But I remember like I used to like if I didn't get what I wanted, I would like hold my breath and like.
You're like, I'm gonna choke myself.
Yeah, I choke myself and hold my breath. And we were at the grocery store once, and I was like, I want this. And my mom was like, okay. And I was like, 2 of them. Something fucking stupid, probably. I want 2. And she's like, no. And I was like, started choking myself. And I passed out. I choked myself.
You didn't.
Yep, choked myself out. And my mom, she tells me like she was holding me, and she was like, he's dead. My son's dead. He's dead. And they like came and like shook me, and I was like, I want to. And like I came.
Oh my God.
Yeah, literally.
Man.
So I think about like how much better the YouTube channel could have been if I didn't drink turpentine and choke myself out as a child. It'd probably be sick.
Yeah, you hit your head falling from.
You'd be an
6'4".
actual chef.
We'd have 8 million subs instead of 7.
Well, that sounds pretty like sketchy though, but like what's the most like did you ever get hurt like filming an epic meal? Did you ever like burn yourself bad?
There's one
like...
major fucking thing, the scariest thing that ever happened on Epic Mealtime, and I still think of it to this day because it was like so dumb, is we had a chainsaw on set, and I don't like knives and I don't want them. And I don't like it. And so like a chainsaw is just like a super knife in many ways. And we did this episode, Meatball Death Star, and we had the chainsaw there. And I was like, okay. And I remember Sterling brought the chainsaw over, and I was like, okay, this can be bait, like whatever, you know. And I was like, tell me when it's plugged in, like guys, so we all know it's plugged in, you know. And I was like going, and I went and I stood behind the thing, and I was chilling, and I pick up the chainsaw, and I'm like touching it, and like I'm getting acquainted with it, because I just want to be acquainted with it. And I'm like touching it, and like I'm moving it around. I'm just being comfortable because I'm about to act with it and hold it. And then I'm going to turn it on, and I don't want to be like, like in the shot. So like, I'm like moving around, touching it, whatever. And then like I put it down and I rest it, and I kind of like touch the trigger to see. When I touch the trigger, it goes,
oh my God.
And I turned around, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, who plugged in the chainsaw? And like, everyone was like, and like now no one wants to do it because I'm like fucking, like, I'm like so young that like we're at that, like, I'm like, who?
Yeah.
Who? And everyone's like, it's better to just wait this out, I guess. But I was just like shook. I was like, why would no one tell me who plugged it in? Why would someone go plug it in? And I'm sitting here and I was holding it and touching it. And at one point I looked and I saw the plug was dangling and it was connected to nothing. I took that note and I was looking at it, but while I was touching it, I guess someone just wasn't thinking and went and plugged it in because we're going to need it plugged in. And my hand was on it. And then I was like, what if I was just stupid, which I wouldn't have been, and I pulled the trigger while touching it? Like, what, it could have just mangled my hand like the 4th episode. And like, how keen would I have been to continue editing the episodes for the next 100 episodes if I fucked my hand up doing the 4th episode? Almost cut my hand off on Epic Mealtime. Thank God that was the worst thing that happened.
I can think of 2 more instances in the last 5 years that were pretty bad.
Wasn't there a bad deep fryer incident
No,
once?
we've had a few, but
there was a bad deep fryer incident where we put a turkey in and a sandwich at someone else's house, a really nice New York apartment filming with Barely Political. We put the like sloppy Reuben or the dirty Reuben sandwich in, and we didn't calculate like the like liquid displacement when we put it in. So we put it in and it started to go over and it boiled and bubbled over. So it was like extra fucked. Probably destroyed the floor. Don't care.
I would say the 2 other ones were when we did the 2 is the one in LA when we cooked with a spicy meal, the spicy tacos, which were absolutely savage. Those ones, like, we actually pepper sprayed ourselves. The whole house had to get cleared out. It was really bad. And then taking a bite of that, this is why I'm behind the scenes, because I do not want to eat that stuff, but it was really deadly. That was actually a hazard, I would say.
Yeah, we took the super hottest hot sauce, hotter than like the last dab,
and like evaporated it.
We literally like boiled it, like
Yeah.
too much of it, and it did pepper spray the entire house. You couldn't even go in there. It hurt your eyes, everything for like over a day. It was fucked up.
The people think we're acting in that video because we're all clearing the house out, and it legitimately was pepper spray. It was terrible. It was
Essentially,
so bad.
right? You
and then you had to eat it.
vaporized the casein or whatever the hell it's called.
The chicken ones were the worst too. And then the other one is when Amir was in the kitchen, and this is the problem because we're just being dumb half the time with the
Flamethrower?
Was it the flamethrower?
I knew it.
And it wasn't working, and it was like leaking. He's like holding the trigger for so long. And then it finally fucking worked, and it shot up
To the ceiling,
to the roof.
and we literally had
I was
like this was like a 25-foot ceiling.
It was crazy. I I was like, wow, we almost burned down this house that is not ours.
Don't care.
And exactly. I have a question for you. Is it just me, or I came across this thing about a Pepsi S'mores collection? They're making these limited edition Pepsi S'mores, like it's a gram of chocolate.
So is this
marshmallow?
Is it a s'mores Pepsi flavor?
You mix them,
or is it a Pepsi
independently.
S'mores flavor?
Exactly, my question.
I don't know, but it just makes me think about maybe back in the day when you were like mashing up food or mixing and matching things, and like how far we've come. And maybe it's just in my head. I don't know. Like I feel like nowadays everything's like a stunt. There's all these stunt products that are coming out. There's all these mashup products coming out, and younger us would have been like, that's so sick. And I still think that. I walk and I'm like, oh man, they're mixing this candy with that candy. I need to get that.
Some of those are hype.
Some of them are very
like
good.
Like an O. Henry Reese. O. Henry Reese is next
number
level.
One. Yeah. That's S tier for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, peanut butter O. Henry came out like at the same time when chocolate fudge O. Henry came out, and peanut butter O. Henry was such a banger it never really left.
Right.
Okay, but what are we doing? What are we doing with 3 flavors of s'mores Pepsi or Pepsi's? It's Pepsi S'mores that you mix.
It's funny because like it's called Pepsi S'mores Collection. It's a can of soda with chocolate, graham cracker, and marshmallow. 3 individual flavors, 3 cans, and I would call that S'mores Pepsi.
Correct.
S'mores Pepsi is S'mores Pepsi. It's a Pepsi that is s'mores
flavored Pepsi, not s'mores that
Pepsi
are flavored like
s'mores
Pepsi.
Is if it was Epic Mealtime, we made a s'mores and we used Pepsi to make the graham cracker, and it was a big Pepsi marshmallow.
Write that down.
Yeah. And on that topic, while looking this up here, I also saw Pepsi made a maple syrup IHOP flavor, and Pepsi made a Cracker Jack flavor just in time for baseball playoffs. And that's like, bro, Pepsi, can you fucking chill, bro? You're trying really hard and it's obvious. Like, it's very obvious. Even like Pepsi Max, calm down. Like, calm down with the
not
max.
That max.
Literally. I wouldn't say it's minimum, but yeah. And then, like you said, Lynch, like they got like the Mountain Dew hot Cheetos flavor, and they're practically like paying people to take them now. They're literally like, grab one for free on your way out at some stores. I've seen it. And I look at this and I'm like, I think all of this exists because of everyone wants to capture the Cool Ranch taco, the Doritos taco, the Doritos Locos taco at Taco Bell. When they made the Dorito shell taco at Taco Bell, the year that they made it, maybe like 2015 or something, I had a very excellent relationship with Taco Bell, so I got like the inside info about this. They sold almost 300 million of that taco that year.
Like every person in America had a taco, essentially.
All the fat asses in America had 5.
Okay.
Is what happened.
That's the math. R/they did the math.
It was, and I like, that's like a banger thing. And that's the best you could hope for, is like you come up with a thing and it's a collabo and it's good. And like 300 million of them are sold. Like that's $1 billion idea. They wish they would love that. So here Pepsi's makes 3 flavors. Got to get all 3. And there are a lot of people that are like snack influencers or people who love trying new snacks. I love it. Donnie, you sent it to me not that long ago, actually. It was Kraft mac and cheese gummies.
Yes.
I thought that was so sick to try macaroni and cheese gummies until I found out that they were like pineapple flavored.
Right.
And
yeah. It was
I was like, nah, bitch. If you're going to do this shit, let's go. Let's go all the way. Show me what you got. I don't think it'll be good, but take a shot at it. Take a swing.
Like, you don't have half the balls that Jelly Belly has if you're not willing to actually go in and make a mac and cheese gummy.
Yep.
But like a friend of ours was telling me that he tried these like Cheeto like mac and cheese, a box of like Kraft Dinner essentially, which is like mac and cheese.
I think we used those for something at one point.
But they were Cheeto flavor. And he was like, he showed it to me and I was like, TBH, bro, that's like, I won't, like, if I'm eating mac and cheese, it's already a fucking stretch. Like, it's got to be that Annie's organic bullshit with real cheese. And I'm adding breadcrumbs and bacon and I'm doing my own thing to it.
The only reason why I would want the Annie's is because the noodles cook better these days. They're like gluten-free, And for whatever reason, because they're gluten-free, they end up being a little bit more al dente. And I like that. And so the Annie's does make a better noodle. And Kraft noodles are so fucking tiny these days. It's weird. They're like the tiniest little pieces ever.
Yeah, they have. That's shrinkflation,
weird. They're literally like mini noodles. It's fucking weird. But when I'm doing like Kraft dinner, like mac and cheese, like I am not cooking anything extra for this. Like I got whatever I want. It's a sauce, and the craziest I'll get is I'll open a can of tuna and put it in there.
Can of tuna is classic.
Yeah, beyond that, like I wouldn't. if I'm cooking up bacon,
tuna
it's
seems like a mistake, but
no, that's the classic. I'm working out and I have no money in college, and I have a $4 meal here. That's gonna give me.
That's your poor man's horse meat macaroni.
It really is. I've banged out so many Kraft dinners and tunas in my day. I need your guy. I had something happen to me yesterday, and I need your perspective / advice or help here, because I had something happen yesterday. I don't know if I think I know if I'm right or wrong in this scenario, but I'm curious what you think. I ordered dinner last night.
Not surprising
tired,
at all.
Very tired. I didn't have time to make dinner. I was busy, working and whatever. Have a child. I called them up and make the order. It's a place I go to pretty regularly. It's downtown where I live, down by the water. And I placed my order. I'm like, great. They're like, all right, come pick up at 7. I was like, oh, perfect. It takes me about 10 minutes to drive to this place. So I'm like, all right, I'll get out. I drive down. And all of a sudden, I get hit with the most amount of traffic, like an absurd amount of traffic. And I come to realize that there's some type of sporting event going on in this area. So this restaurant's one of those, like usually when you go to an arena, there's a bunch of restaurants around that arena. And they're like, that's sort of their location is tied to that somewhat.
Yeah.
What took 15 minutes took an hour and 15 minutes.
You didn't realize Garth Brooks was in town.
That's funny for me because you get really mad. So I know you were very mad. Okay, continue.
So I
know you were fucking, you were pissed about this.
And in my mind, I call my son. I'm like, oh man, what the fuck? Like, I'm coming to pick up my food. The least you could do is just say, by the way, it's a game night tonight. So there's a lot of traffic on the way down. 7 p.m. is when the game starts. When you have a restaurant down near that area, what you discuss before the night opens for dinner, you're like, oh, it's game night. We got a busy night. Lots of people coming in and out because usually you grab dinner before the game or before the concert or whatever. I felt like a courtesy. Hey, by the way, we've decided your time to come pick it up is actually the worst time to drive here. 20 minutes later, you're fine. I was very pissed off about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is interesting.
And so I was thinking about it because I got mad, and then I call my wife. She tells me, "Oh, just relax, whatever. It doesn't matter."
That always works.
I didn't freak out on anyone. I didn't lose my shit. I did mention it in passing. I said, "Hey, maybe you guys can let me know next time that there's like we don't control." They're like, "We don't control traffic." I'm like, "I know you don't control traffic."
You're too big to say something in passing. And I know I am too. I can't say things in passing. If I went up to someone, I was like, you can't or it'd be good if or whatever. It only comes off threatening,
attack,
because you're standing there and you're huge.
More importantly, what is the assessment of blame here? I'll
tell you exactly
how
what
annoyed
happened.
am I allowed to be in this scenario?
I'll tell you,
or not.
I'll tell you. 100% can only be annoyed with yourself. They do not
100%.
100%. They don't know you a single thing. However, that is the definition of going the extra mile in terms of service. And I think if you do this, Lynch, you'll be very disappointed if you were to continue life doing this. If you expect people to do for you the things that you would have done for other people, you'll be disappointed, because I think a lot more people out there would be far more careless than you. And this person was careless, and of course, and they don't need to do shit for you, and they didn't. So you need to know now. That's one of those things where you can be like, I'm going to remember that. This place would never. And I wouldn't have even thought of saying anything to them. I would have been like, I fucked up. I'm so stupid. I can't believe I did that. And it's such a thing I would have done. I would have been like, why didn't I just check? Why wouldn't I? I would put that all on me. But if I were about to go and the guy was like, hey, by the way, it's crazy busy, I'd be like, okay. I'd be surprised if he said that to me on the phone. If he's like, oh, you're going to make an order now? It's going to be crazy busy. I'd be like, okay, that's weird. I'd get off the phone. And then when I go there and I saw how busy it was, I'd be like, that guy's a fucking hero. I'm coming back. There's a pizza place near me that I don't even particularly enjoy. I tried it twice and I was like, I don't think I'll have it again. I was in line drive-through at Starbucks, not for me, the person I was with, and it was a huge line at Starbucks. Everyone's stupid at the drive-through, and everyone needs it so bad they wait for a fucking coffee.
I get angry every time because
Yeah.
I also get sent there. It's always like, oh, while you're in that parking lot, can you stop it? And I'm like,
And you're like, that's the whole mission. That would be the whole mission because everyone wants Starbucks. So it was such a big line drive-through. The pizza guy, the guy who owns that pizza place, came out with a pizza and cut slices on plates and gave it to people in line at the drive-through at Starbucks. I was like, not only is that an incredible business move by the pizza place right next door because it's coming up to lunchtime, he's also proud of his product. A lot of people do like this pizza place.
He's good.
He's proud of it and he wants to show it. So I went there, tried the pizza. It was exactly how I remembered it. Not for me. Didn't really like it. But I'm like, we are ordering that this weekend because that guy went above and beyond right now and he deserves it. And whoever didn't tell you about this shit, they don't go above and beyond. They're underachievers. That's on them. Lynch, I know how much thought you put into emails before you send them. People are not going to put thought in the way that you put thought in. So
hold on. So you think 100% is on me? Yeah. I have to say something to you because my decision.
Your wife really wanted to say like you have no right. When she was like, calm down. I think she really wanted to be like, I don't think you have any right.
But I know me. I'm like,
you know your value.
You're never getting $1 from me ever again. And I told Nicole that. I told my wife that, and she goes, oh, that sucks. I'm like, this is the last time you're ever eating here. It's too bad.
I love that she has to join you, and she's like, oh, I like that place.
I said you can order it, but she would never drive.
You're gonna find like wrappers in her car and shit. You're gonna be like, what's this? What's this?
You smell like the fajitas at that place.
Kenny Rogers chicken. I'm hooked on the chicken, Jerry.
100% wrong. I'm 100% wrong. Okay.
There's a couple of lessons here. I
like to know, Donnie.
I think first of all, like, they're banking more on the fact that you're hungry in this time slot than the fact that you want their food. Because if they told you, hey, it's crazy now, maybe come back in an hour, the chances are you're going to move on. So they weren't going to be like, it's crazy here and talk themselves out of a sale.
And they probably just assumed like you were walking there. You were a part of the game. You were picking up food to watch for the game at your friends who lives right there.
Their phone rings and they're like, this is a person who wants our product and we're here to sell it to them. We're not here to do like palm reading or whatever the fuck you're expecting from them.
Okay, but I see, but I also felt bad enough that I actually could have just gone. I didn't pay for this food. I ordered it with no payment. It was like a phone order.
Oh, so you could have dropped it on them. I could have just
dropped the whole. I could have just left. Sorry, I buried that piece of it. So I actually feel bad. So I have this feeling. I do feel bad. Like
no, you dropped that on them. The busboy's gonna eat all that shit. Don't you feel bad for a second?
I don't want to like fuck someone over. I feel like I do feel guilty a little bit.
Oh, you fucked up, and if I were your wife, I'd be really mad at you, and I'd be mad at you for even getting mad at anything.
Harley says 100%. Donnie Duckets is kind of ducking this answer
you want
bit. He's not really giving me like
you want culpability?
A clear split.
Yeah, Donnie, tell us how responsible is it for the restaurant to inform this guy of the local sporting event schedule?
Listen. Anybody who's worked at a restaurant knows what being in the juice is about. I think you're 100% in the wrong. I don't think they're juicing over there. Especially on game night, they're fucking juicing. You're calling for food and they're like, you want them to be like, are you sure? Like,
bro,
they're like,
not just that.
Man.
They have the right to get off the phone and laugh at you together. You'd be like, can you believe what this guy just said?
However,
any restaurant I order from, it could be any type of restaurant.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Top to bottom, I'll tell you what.
Soup to nuts. It's the same response.
They control their restaurant. If they had someone working on the windows and you had to go in through the back entrance, they tell you that. If their parking lot is being pulled up from the ground and there's no parking there tonight, they tell you that. The fact that a sporting event is happening, no.
Well, I'm very happy I didn't lose it then. Sounds like I'm wrong.
And look at this.
Actually, you're not. Also, there's no circumstance where you're allowed to lose it.
First of all, people are losing their shit all the time over much less than that. Like some people are walking in on TikTok and they're throwing soup in they're taking the food and smashing it in their face. And they're like, what?
These are not people we respect. These are the Kevins and the Karens of the interwebs.
Okay, so
but let me just give you your one saving. Well, it's not even a saving grace at this point, but just to kind of temper my, my answer that you're 100% culpable.
You're so mean to me.
I was mean to you last episode too. People are gonna think that you guys like stepping on your toes. Yeah. I'll tell you what though, I give you 100% leeway to drop that meal on them. Like you said, I feel bad. I feel,
yeah, me too.
You feel bad about not showing up. Look, I ordered the shit. You run a business where you take orders without deposits and shit. And if the environmental factors come in that I'm not going to be able to make it there, then like your busboy's going to have a great fucking dinner. And
so I'm wrong on every level here. I fucked this whole
you were wrong on all of it, but if you would have done the one mean thing that you didn't want to do, unfortunately the way the logic of this works out, I agree that is you're allowed to have done that.
Yeah.
And then and that obviously would have, I think, taught them the lesson better than you being like, you should have done that. What you could have done on the phone is you could have said that, been like, well, I don't think I'm going to make it there now.
Yeah. You know what your problem is?
No, you guys are fucking wrong.
No.
You're also allowed to do that.
Listen,
you're also allowed to say that.
Can I give them 25%, 20%? I mean, this is not some cheap fucking restaurant here.
I'll tell you your problem. I
spent a lot
of
money at this place.
Lynch,
this is
your
ridiculous.
problem is you caught feelings, bro. You caught feelings. You're like, this is my favorite restaurant, and I'm their favorite customer. No, bro.
I'm not their favorite customer. No, I'm not delusional. I do know that I represent. Like when I decide I'm not going to spend my money at a place, I know that they don't give a shit. But for me. Like this happened a couple times when I'm like, sorry.
A shoe store. I know a couple of these. A shoe store. Lynch will never go to this shoe store ever again. And this one, he's 100% right. Lynch bought a pair of white shoes, tried them on, brought them home, and when he got there, like it was like someone had marked it with pen. Like maybe an employee, like the pen touched the shoe or something. So he went back and he was like, "There's pen on it." And they're like, "We can give you store credit." And he was like, "There's no shoe in here. I only wanted this shoe." They're like, "We don't have any more of that shoe. It's a rare shoe, so we can only give you store credit." And he's like, "But you put pen on the shoe and you don't have this shoe. I didn't come here because like I need a pair of shoes. I can't go to work tomorrow without my shoes. I'm here because I wanted that shoe." And then he didn't have the shoe. And he even hit me up and he was like, "Yeah, I'm done with that place." And he didn't tell me. But he told me hard enough with this story, and I was connected and immersed so hard in the story with the shoe pen, I don't buy shoes from there anymore. I was like, you know what? Fuck that place for real.
It was a Foot Locker in a mall. So.
I gotta tell you,
it wasn't.
I gotta tell you, Donnie, the way that this has panned out, the way him telling me this is all I'm thinking is I have to try this restaurant. I'm gonna ask him, restaurant. And I know he's not. He doesn't want to say it here because I don't want to hype them up since he's in the midst of punishing them.
No,
and maybe one day if everything. No. So what restaurant is it?
I don't want to put them on blast.
Oh no, you're not going to make them look bad. I think you look wrong enough here, and I think since 66% of the people on this podcast right now also think you look wrong, you're allowed to say what it is.
Was it Baby O'Shea's Deli?
No, I want.
It's not putting them on blast. It's gonna do better for them.
No,
you waited an hour and 20 minutes for their food. That's how good it was. Rather than cancel the order, you waited an hour and 20 minutes for the food. And what are they gonna do? Knock it because like the hostess is lazy or a busboy that picked up the phone wasn't thoughtful? No, they're not gonna knock the restaurant for that. Guys, we're not knocking the restaurant for that. What was the restaurant?
I'm not
type it in the stage then.
No, I'm not because you know what? I actually
what kind of food is it?
I think some people would.
What kind of food was it?
What did you order?
What was the order? It's too easy to figure it out if I tell you.
It's really not.
What do you mean? It's easy to tell.
If you tell us, it is.
Why?
It is. I'm not telling you because I don't want to put them on blast.
No, even if you told us, if you were like,
he's like, it's a Big Mac.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think of like what would be so specific.
He doesn't want to tell us that he ordered a banana split. Fuck.
Okay, well, you gotta tell me because next time I'm in Toronto, I'm hitting that place up, and I'm fucking going on game night.
Doxed.
Hey, you know what? I want you to, and I recommend it to a lot of people. Off camera, I'll recommend it to both you guys to go there. You don't have the same experience I had. I'm just saying that I've spent enough money there that I've decided that I'm like, I don't want to do
Our
this
first
anymore. I'm
live
sorry.
recording of this podcast will be like, we're live at Lynch's fuck up on game night.
Yeah,
You're in the middle of traffic recording this podcast to go pick
Handing
up
out
food.
pizza slices in
Well,
traffic.
Oh, guys, reddit.com/r/
EMT presents Binge Eater. r/EMT presents Binge Eater.
Yeah, so guys, that's a great place to get this particular conversation started. Or you can go on reddit.com r/epic mealtime. You could tell us there, or Epic Mealtime Twitter. You can go to
You can also email us at bingeeater@epicmealtime.com.
and you can go to the Epic Mealtime latest videos. Lynch and I do read all of the comments, literally like every single comment that comes through. So if you want to talk to us, you can literally put it on almost any Epic Meal video and we'll see it as they come in
Put
chronological
it on the
order.
angry French Canadian.
No, don't. That's got enough views.
Definitely.
Go to the most recent video, preferably the G Fuel one. And this is actually the truth, guys. Epic Mealtime had taken a major break for a long time, and now Epic Mealtime is actually sponsored by G Fuel. So for the next 6 months, we are making videos again on the channel. So go to youtube.com/Epic Mealtime, check it out. And if you go to gfuel.com and you use the code EPIC, you can get up to 30% off your order of G Fuel. And I've been crushing it actually lately. I've been gaming a lot, been focusing a lot, so it really helps out. It goes a long way. And interacting with us online is going to help for future podcast stuff like that. I kind of want to share some like if you guys do share like what Lynch just asked, I would love to share some of that on the podcast, and we would love to rip you guys or roast you or even praise you, depending on how it is. So feel free to interact with us. All right, guys, that's the Binge Eater podcast. I'm not sure what you're listening to this on or watching it on. It's on YouTube. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all your platforms, wherever they are, whichever platform you're on. Like it, download it, write a review, tell your friends about it, share it. This totally helps this podcast, and we really need the help. So make sure you go ahead and share Binge Eater podcast with your friends if you're enjoying it.